Hello, you guys. What is up? Welcome back to Gals on the Go podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Peaceful Michelle.
I made her say that. I am here today with my mom, also known as Peaceful Michelle. Nickname could be Peaceful. That's what some of my friends call her. Hey, Peaceful. How you doing?
I'm well.
So excited to have my mom on the podcast this week. We listened to Brooke and Adina's episode last week. We were listening to it on our little road trip to Indianapolis Airport after our family reunion, and we had lots of giggles, and they crushed last week's episode, so we had so much fun. So this week, we're going to be doing an episode we're with Peaceful Michelle, so we got her in a room for an hour. What are we going to talk to her about? We're going to talk wellness. I want the tips. And we also came up with a list of things that I have started doing now that I honestly used to kind of make fun of my mom for. And we'll get into it. They're just like daily wellness practices, or yeah, I guess wellness is the best word, kind of encapsulates it. But
Yeah.
anyways, how are you?
I'm well.
You're well.
I know. I'm really well. I'm glad to do this. We're doing it in my meditation and yoga room, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, we got all the good vibes in here. If you guys don't know, my mom is a yoga teacher. What are all the classes you teach?
I teach meditation. I teach Kundalini yoga. I teach children's yoga. I teach Yoga Nidra, which is a guided meditation.
That's a fave for people. People love Yoga
Definitely,
Nidra.
because it's easy. It's actually what I do in the school system too, because it's accessible to anyone. So
yeah, now she's infiltrating into schools and teaching yoga classes and meditation, all just because she wants to spread the light. So
yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
it's good wellness, good mental health.
Yes.
Definitely.
It's actually so crazy too. She brought it to my high school, and after I left, of course, and they were like, oh my gosh, could you be like our resident in-house teacher? And you're like, I gotta spread the wealth, you know?
Yeah, I like planting seeds around. And also, actually, I like to empower the teachers. So I work with the teachers too and teach them techniques and things. And so to help them with their wellness in their classrooms, or just they're more peace about it. And I say, now you're a yoga, you're a meditation teachers. You can do this. So
I love it. So yeah, I'm home for about a week here in Tampa, Florida. I'm so happy. I love coming here. I spent the last few 4th of July's at home. So this episode will be going up the day after 4th of July. And we're actually on a time crunch because we wanted to make sure to get this done because I have 6 of my college besties coming down because people just love coming here. And I mean, can't complain.
It's a great spot.
So we're doing 4th of July here. We've got lots of fun plans, going out in Tampa, all the things. So Delaney's actually pulling up any minute. And I was like, I'm just going to leave the door open. You know what to do.
She knows the lay of the land.
She knows lay of the land. Of all the people to get here first, Delaney is perfect for that. And then everyone else is either driving or flying in a little bit later today. So we woke up this morning. I went on my little coffee walk, which was honestly kind of bold for me because I brought a glass cup with me. And Finley, I didn't have the harness on him.
Yeah.
Or his, what do you call it? His walking vest.
Yeah. His walking vest.
Because it's like a harness, but he gets so nervous when the harness comes out.
I know. It does. It feels
I don't know
constraining
why.
to him, but then he knows we're going on a walk.
Yeah, but then he's on a proper walk. But yeah, I took him for a walk this morning. It was just such the best start to the day because I woke up feeling kind of weird. I was telling my mom I haven't been sleeping well, and I think it's because I've been taking magnesium before I go to bed, and the last week I just haven't. And I've been reading really intense thrillers.
Oh yeah, that'll infiltrate.
I don't even enjoy Danielle because I was reading a book and she was like, "Would I like that?" And I was like, "I don't know, probably not." And the one I'm reading right now, it's called Never Lie by Frida McFadden, and it's about a house. And I usually am in an apartment, but I'm in a house, so any noise I heard last night, I was on edge. There's someone here. So I think I need to stick to my Ellen Hildebrand Nantucket books for nighttime.
Yes.
And then the thrillers during the day.
I mean, that's why they say you should you should spend an hour before you even go to sleep. But I guess you use that to go to sleep.
I can't do it perfectly.
I know, but that's not a soother.
I know, it's not a soother. So at least I'm not on my phone. I really put my phone down now because now I'll miss texts and I see them in the morning because I was reading. I know. So, but yeah, we just came back from Illinois. We go every single summer. Was it since I was born?
Definitely. Yeah,
Wow.
I remember taking you there as babies.
Oh my
You and
gosh.
Freddie.
That's so
Yeah,
cute.
and now other family members are having kids, so there's like a new wave of little ones running around, and she was just in her heyday, and they love her.
Oh my gosh, I was thriving. It was so special because if you guys have seen the show The Summer I Turned Pretty, it kind of makes me feel like that, like how she looks forward to going to Cousins Beach every single summer. That's how I felt since I was a kid, going to our grandparents' lake house in Southern Illinois. It's just so special. They have this area called the Point, which is like this grassy area that like it's like a peninsula basically that go from their yard into the lake. I don't know how else to, like a peninsula shape, but small. They have a hammock out there that my grandma made, like this beach. Oh my gosh, it's just, and we grew up with so many traditions, like I can't, like there's just so many. And so now we go, and some of our cousins have now had kids. And so now there was like 4, 5, and 6-year-olds running around. I am just never around little kids anymore. I guess you are because you're going to the schools.
Oh, definitely. And I love it. And it's good energy and makes you feel
so
light
cute.
And carefree and all of that. So
yeah.
I think it was a really good balance for you and the lifestyle that you lead. I mean, because you got an amazing life, but it just sort of, it's super wholesome. Mm-hmm. It's super back to nature, simple. And I think we all need to like tap into that. It's great, have the glitz and the glamour, and then just, kind of do that and, have it all.
Totally. No, it reminds me of the Hannah Montana movie when she goes back to her hometown, and there is never going to be a summer that I miss this unless there's some, like, I really just don't, like, even if I get a cool opportunity, like I must have my week in Illinois every summer. Like it is when they say if you're in meditation, which I'm not good at meditation and we will get into, but when they say like go to like a place that makes you feel really relaxed, like I take myself to the Point.
I do.
I know
too,
you do
actually.
too.
It is definitely a special place. Anybody that's ever gone there, it's not that it's exotic or anything, but it's got a good vibe.
It really does. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's just important to have those little nature moments. And again, just being with those little kids, like they are just so innocent.
Oh, no, so cute. And we did a talent show, which we usually do every year. We kind of skipped a little bit. Now we're back in the groove because now more people are back.
The kids want to like do the talent show.
Oh my God, that was adorable.
Oh my gosh.
Just they're singing and standing there, and it's so good for them too.
Totally. It's just good, clean fun.
It was.
We had one night where we played drinking games once the kids went to bed, and that was it. Oh, also, we played euchre. My mom finally, I think, really learned how to play euchre.
I'm good with it.
It's a big Midwest card game. No one I really know knows it unless they're from the Midwest. I say, do you know how to play euchre? And a lot of people do. It's kind of like it makes me feel like I'm playing poker or something. You feel like you got some edge with you. You can't show your poker face.
Yeah, and you're playing with a partner.
Yeah. It's just like fun. So that's what we did. Freddie didn't come this year because he's a working man now selling boats. Time. He's obsessed though. Like I got to see him this morning, like go to work.
All dressed in this
oh my God,
and his little label on there, and he was talking to us, and he
like, "Hey guys." It was
I'm
so
thrilled
funny.
for him though.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And how is it having Freddie at home, living at home with you?
I like it. I love his energy. He brings a lot of life and laughter. I mean, just him retelling the stories of working with different customers.
Oh, yeah.
I was dying because he's a great communicator, as is, Danielle. And, he just knows how to relate and do all these different things. And they're going out on boats and looking at things. It's not all just in the dealership. It's been interesting. And he'll do well at it because he's a great people person. He really cares. And he loves boating and the lifestyle. So he's selling something he lives for.
Yeah.
That's why he moved back.
It's so sweet. Like Freddie just belongs in Florida. Freddie equals Florida.
Yeah.
FF, right. FF. So very happy to be home and with my fam and Finley, all the Fs. But yeah, so that was that. And yeah, like I said, we have a fun episode coming up. I did want to do one little shout out. Thank you guys all so much for getting your tickets for the Gals on the Go live shows. My mom might be at honestly a few of them.
Yes, because we have family near
some of those cities.
Yeah.
So we're going to Dallas, Austin, Chicago, and New York. I believe all are sold out except for New York. So I want to shout out New York. So Saturday, December 16th at 8 p.m. at Town Hall. It's going to be so much fun. Tickets are on sale on galsonthegopodcast.com. Click on live shows, then go to New York. My mom was at the New York show last year. It is just electric.
Yeah, and the Tampa show too.
Oh, well, yeah. But I'm highlighting the New York show.
Right,
but yes, the Tampa show was fabulous. New York is it's just special. And since it's on December 16th, it's right in the middle of like all the holidays. So I remember last year, a lot of people made, a weekend out of it.
It really is a good time to have it. I don't think you originally planned it like that. It's like that was just you had the concept and then you.
We kind of
did
did though.
you?
We were like,
Okay.
ooh, a holiday show. Because we knew people like, we wanted to make it as accessible as we can for people that maybe don't live in a city that we're coming to. A lot of people do these like yearly New York trips in
Yeah.
December, I feel like.
Well, and I just have to say, and this is totally, I mean, I am your mom and everything, unbiased. It was better than I expected.
Wow.
It really
Okay.
was. Well, I mean, I know you both, and I know, and it was like your first
No,
run
that's fair.
out or whatever. And it just, you just both have such a good rapport with each other.
Thank you.
And you know, you're very different, which makes it interesting. So I loved it. I thought it was, and I think we need more you talk about wellness. That's wellness to go see that show, because one of my teachers always said we got to laugh and sweat every day.
True.
So, you know, laughter is healing. Laughter's, you know, good for the soul.
It's so good for the soul. And it's not like a live podcast. We have segments. And if you came to last year's New York show, it's going to be completely different. We might keep one of the segments and just change it up because everyone loved it so much, but we haven't decided yet. But it's so much fun. We have so many new ideas. It's very interactive. I believe the meet and greets are already sold out, but it's so much fun. It's our biggest venue yet. And I mean, it's just such an excuse to plan a December trip. Then you have your Saturday night planned, go to dinner before, dinner and a show, and maybe we'll get to talk to you in the audience. Like, we really try to walk around a lot, so.
It's a feel good for sure. And I like
Totally.
how you engage the audience too.
No, we have to.
Yeah.
They're our
it's
peeps.
well done.
Thank you. So, the tickets are always linked down below, and then also on galsonthegopodcast.com. And thank you guys all to for buying your tickets to Chicago, Dallas, Austin. Potentially working on something for Chicago because I know it sold out really quick, but no promises there, not yet. But yeah, so I think we should get started with our current favorite. I'll get us started.
The music too. So
I know. These are a few of my favorite things. So my mom listens to the podcast every week, you guys.
I do.
Like, I caught her the other day. We were in Illinois, and she didn't even have her earbuds in. She was just holding her phone to her ear, listening to Brooke and Adina's episode.
It really catches me up with your life. I mean, your YouTubes do too, but
Bring your mic way closer. I just realized.
I'm not used to this thing.
I just realized.
So funny.
I know.
Hey.
Hey. Sorry, guys. Mom's learning the mic situation.
Okay, I'm with it. Anyway, yes. my fave. Now that's my. Oh, I was gonna ask you though which one I should use.
Oh, just do it. You're so into intuition. The second one, I think.
Okay.
Well, which one are you more passionate about? What could you talk about more? I'll let you think about it. I'll give my favorite.
Okay.
My favorite is linen pants.
Oh my gosh, and I have some.
Oh my God, same. Oh, if you guys are watching on video, my mom and I are wearing black and white. Like, she is wearing all white. I am wearing all black.
And this was totally not planned because when I came out, Michael said, "Did you and she talk about what to wear?" No, I just usually wear all white.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of white when I teach, so it just felt like the right thing.
Yeah.
So, yin and yang right here.
Yeah,
Yin and yang.
It's very us because my mom always wears all white. I'm living in New York now. I feel like I'm always wearing all black.
True.
So it's a nice little contrast. So yeah, I am obsessed with linen. I have always like had a pair of like white linen pants that I wore with a bathing suit, but I never got a pair of like linen trousers, you know, like these have like the belt loops and the pockets and they've got the pleats. And I got my first pair when we were in Greenville, South Carolina at Madewell, and I was trying on a different pair of pants, and the woman was like obsessed with me. She was like, "Oh my God, you're going to Greece, hold on." And sometimes when they try to help you, I'm like, "Girlfriend, I know what I'm here for." But in this case, I was like, you know what? Let's let her show me what she wants to show me. She brought me these white linen pants from Madewell, and they are iconic. They are amazing. They fit so well. They didn't like stick to my legs. They went perfectly straight, and I actually sized down in Madewell. But I'm also just wearing this black pair from Abercrombie, and they're also amazing. They actually have a little elastic too, so they're a little forgiving, a little comfortable. And you were telling me, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into it, but like the importance of linen or the energy.
Yes, linen, cotton, you know, they have a higher vibration. You know, they're just true fabrics. And, you know, everything has a vibration or an aura or however you want to look at it. And I just watched this whole podcast on where they test the vibrations. And linen is it's just a really clean, high frequency, you know, it's a pure fabric.
Love to hear it.
Take more linen. I mean, it makes sense. They wear it a lot. in the Middle East and very hot places and everything. It's just cooling and it's
And
natural.
it just feels good. You just feel like very fresh.
Yeah.
And
I like it too.
I don't know. I just really like how I feel in linen. I think it's a great summer staple, like a linen shirt, a linen pant. I've just been loving the linen pants, especially now that I have a pair of black linen pants. If I stain it, you would never know. So
And you do get things
I
on
stain
you.
everything.
She's
So
a little messy.
I'm a little messy. So that's my favorite. And I know you always love linen.
I
So
do.
what's your
I do.
favorite? What did you decide?
So, I've always used, I'm very simple and like, I love, my God, the beauty content that you guys do. It's amazing. All the different products. And for years I just wore like coconut oil was everything, my body, my face, everything. And I was like, I should amp it up. They have all these serums and everything, but because I'm just more of a purist, so I started using Beauty Counter, and we had a couple of family members that were using it, and I really do like it. It's good, and I feel good about wearing it, and I like it. So I actually do multiple steps now.
I saw on the counter
which
you've
is
got like
very rare for me.
very
rare.
I was telling my mom I'm picking up from
I'm
Brooke.
not picking it up from you.
I know, just like the only New York thing I feel like I say is very.
No,
And you
I
just
hit
said it
Yeah, well, I've been with
very-
you for a week now. So.
Yeah. So you have the vitamin C and then like a moisturizer.
Moisturizer and the like toner, and there's different. Yeah, there's
Love
night cream
that.
and day cream and all that. But I just like it, and I feel good.
It's clean beauty, right?
Clean beauty for sure, and I support some family members doing it too, because I think those are always sold by people, right, or something.
I think so. I don't
Anyway,
really know.
it's
not
a
about
po-
that.
Yeah, necessarily. It's just I like things that are simple and not
Totally.
tons of ingredients. But I like my goop, my super goop too. So.
Oh yeah, she's loving Super Goop glow screen, which
Yes,
I love
I
for
do.
you. Okay, sweet. Now we're gonna get into our rec of the week.
Okay.
So my rec of the week is a book. I feel like Brooke, shout out. I'm recommending books. I've read so many books in the last few weeks. I just finished this book. I read it in like 4 days, which is short for me. It's called Social Climber by Amanda Pellegrino. Really great book. My vibe of a book is a book that's based in New York City, a hustler gal, just, if it's romance or there's a little thrill, I just love that. I just like those books, okay? So I was recommended to read it because of all those reasons, and it did not disappoint. It was perfect. It was about, I hate like talking about the book because then I feel like you accidentally spoil something, but this girl engaged to like a very wealthy man in New York City, and there's a death from when she was in college, and it kind of gets brought back to surface and things happen. She went to like a very religious school, and she kind of goes back in time to like things that happened when she was at school and parties, and it's a really good. And it has you latched from the beginning, and that's my favorite kind of book.
Wow. I love that you're reading so much.
I know.
That's just good.
It's so fun.
And then what you did for grandma.
Oh yeah, my grandma, she's a big reader.
Huge.
Reader.
Yeah.
And she saw my Kindle and was like, oh, I just wish I could use those. But the screen it's so bright. I think the old Kindles used to have like a phone screen, like an LCD screen. And I agree. I don't like reading on my phone, on an iPad. That's not my vibe. But the Kindle, if you guys haven't seen a Kindle, it's like this matte finish. It's not bright. I don't really know, but I don't think there's like blue light.
No, it seems pretty subtle and dim.
Yeah, it's almost like this dim. I don't know how to explain it. And I put it on the black screen with the white font, so it's like really nice and dark. Anyways, I showed her mine and she was obsessed. So I knew, she was like, oh, I want this for Christmas. I'm like, it is July. And
Christmas in July.
It's Christmas in July. I should have said that. So I went on Amazon super quick. I got her a Kindle Oasis. It came the next day on Amazon. And it was nice because I was there to like help her set it up. And she's obsessed. She's like, it has changed my life forever. I don't need to hold a flashlight when I'm in bed with your grandpa. I can just turn off the lights.
Yeah. Danielle, that was so sweet of you. And it really did make a big change.
I didn't realize it was she was like, now I can like feel good about sleeping next to your grandpa and I'll wake him up. I was like, that's great. So, yeah, I did do that.
Side note.
Always love a side note on this podcast.
Yes. So now I do my rec. All right. Well, so usually it's like books or shows or things like that. Books, I read so much nonfiction that would just really, I feel like would bore you.
The lady's here and just sent a selfie with Finley.
That's cute.
That's cute.
Cute. Anyway, because I lead a personal growth and yoga stuff and all that. Anyway, however, a couple weeks ago, my love and I started watching 1883, which is the prequel. It's not that it's new or anything, prequel to Yellowstone. And we had watched all of Yellowstone. It was so well done.
Wow.
And so good. And the young actress in it, that's also the narrator, her voice is amazing. She's just captivating and beautiful. I think a lot of you and your listeners might identify with her. But it's the Wild West. And she's got like a really cool warrior spirit about her. And just kind of showing. It's only one season with like 10 episodes. And Sam Elliott, who's an amazing actor. You know, he's like 78 and, you know, riding those horses and all that. And then Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, who are a couple, they were a couple on that. It was well done and good. You know, sometimes it's hard to find things that both of you like. And
it's impossible sometimes.
The two people. So we both enjoyed it. So that would be my rec.
I love that. And you said I might, you know, because I haven't watched Yellowstone. But I could watch this first because it is the prequel.
Yeah, you don't need to have seen Yellowstone at all. So just there's my.
Thank you. No, I love a show recommendation. I've been off my show watching game, to be honest. So maybe Ryan and I will pick that up when we are both back in the city.
If you haven't been to galsonthegopodcast.com, you are missing out, you guys. Also, have to plug DanielleCarolyn.com as well. Both of those websites were designed on Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform for building your brand and growing your business online. Stand out with a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything. Your products, content you create, and even your time. I seriously love all of the product features that they have on Squarespace. It's really catered to you and maybe what your business consists of. So you can actually create pro-level videos effortlessly on Squarespace. There's a video studio app that helps you make and share engaging videos to tell your story, grow your audience, and drive sales. You can also use insights to grow your business, which I think is amazing to be able to see your analytics. You can learn where your site visits and sales are coming from and analyze which channels are most effective. Also, for my bloggers out there, Squarespace has powerful blogging tools to share stories, photos, videos, and updates. Categorize, share, and schedule your posts to make your content work for you. Head to squarespace.com/gals for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code GALS to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
So we're going to get into wellness things, wellness practices that I've picked up from Miss Peaceful Michelle. Guys, growing up, my mom and my dad were very, very ahead of the curve on a lot of things. Like, I will give you guys props. Like, they were drinking green juice before it was cool, and I was like embarrassed. My mom would come pick me up from school. Specifically, I think it was if it was aftercare, because you would have to get out of your car and you'd like bring your freaking green smoothie with you. And guys, it was just like not heard of. Like, it was not like smoothies were not like, especially green smoothies, they were just not the thing. Or maybe it was just me being a paranoid.
No,
like,
there weren't even places, really.
Yeah, there were no juice. There was no pressed juicery. There was no, like, I think we had Smoothie King. That was it. Like, it wasn't
Which isn't really
like
juice.
that. But I would get genuinely embarrassed. I'd literally, when my mom would drop me off in the morning, I'd say, please do not pick me up with holding your green smoothie. Because you'd get like the green mustache.
And the teeth and stuff.
I mean, I don't know what other people thought, but I was just, I mean, probably no one thought anything of it, but I was like, this is so embarrassing because it was so weird. But now what do? I'm obsessed. I can't get enough of it. Tastes so good.
Smoothies.
Yeah.
Well, it does. All these little things that happen when you're young, you think, they're not a part of you, but somewhere back here. And really, your dad and I didn't push it. We've always just, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And try it out. I mean, it cringed me when, the whole Twinkie story with Freddie. But
Freddie discovered like a Twinkie for the first time at his friend's house because
like
we didn't have that here
and stuff. But really, it's good. So you just pay attention to how you feel. That's how I am. I mean, we could do a whole podcast on nutrition.
Yeah.
Green juices, smoothies. Really, it becomes like, just listen to your body. Does that give you energy or does it take away your energy? I mean, I eat everything. I don't always eat pure all the time. Because, I mean, heck, what we just did last week in Illinois.
Oh, yeah. We're just eating cobbler and pizza. It's all about balance. No, I actually, when I was in Cabo last weekend, I got invited on a trip with Sculpt Society to Cabo. We stayed at Las Ventanas, a Rosewood property. It was literally the best service I've ever had in my entire life. I was so thankful. I have a vlog all about that on my YouTube channel, so you can go watch it there. But I was, there was a lot of different ages on the trip. The oldest was 44, I think, and I was the youngest, 24. So it was really cool. We had all these, deep conversations, learning about other people's life. It wasn't just like small talk, that's for sure. But I said something like, oh, I grew up with like an almond mom, so blah, blah, blah. And the girl was like, oh, but you seem like you have a really healthy relationship with food and you're really balanced. And I was like, oh, well, like you weren't an almond mom in the sense that you'd be like, you can't eat those chips. Like you were never like that. It was more so just the things you bought for this house were very nutritious. Like every morning still to this day, like there's fruit out on the table. Like that's just how I grew up, like fruit and carrots. And like I think that's why people call me a bunny rabbit, because I just want like lettuce. Like I just want to eat lettuce. But like we had pasta and we had rice and beans. So I think it was just kind of, you never restricted us. You just only brought things into the house that
we just
you
didn't bring in a lot of process.
But we did have pasta. I mean, I love pasta.
Well, I still think it. And the Mediterranean cultures, they eat all that.
Hey, tell me less.
And they do all that. So it was more like you go to other people's houses.
Yeah.
When all the birthday parties started and stuff.
Oh
and
my God.
Like, I mean, you were just like, wow,
what
sugar
is this? Lay's chips? Oh my God. Yeah, we just didn't have like a lot of like chips and cookies and stuff. So it was really exciting but then like once we got into like high school, then game over. We had vending machines and
knock yourself out.
Whatever. But I'm
it out for yourself.
Yeah, no. So I do want to make that point. Like I call my mom an almond mom, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe you're more of an essential oils mom.
What mom?
An almond mom or an essential oils mom. There's like this thing on TikTok like
I don't know.
Almond moms are like, oh, like I'll just have a couple almonds. And like you do kind of sometimes just snack on some almonds. But like it's never like this toxic, like you've never made me feel bad about what I eat, and you always encourage balance. And
body positive is an important thing.
Yeah, we grew up in a body positive household.
And I think too, because I grew up with a mom who was definitely a fuller lady and was always kind of struggling with that and doing Weight Watchers and different things, that I just learned about acceptance and enjoying. It's important too that you take pleasure out of what you're eating. If you're restricting too much, because trust me, in the yoga community, I mean, I'm around it all. I mean, pure vegan, every kind of thing, and great, but you've got to have some pleasure with it too. Yeah, and feel good about what you're doing.
And I think just back to what you said about like just feeling how you feel once you eat the food.
Yes.
And going from there. Because some people do have like, what's the word? Not restrictions, but like they get affected by eating certain foods.
Definitely.
Like they get stomach aches, or, people that are gluten-free, gluten-free. You know what I'm trying to say. So it's a good point. Just like recognizing how you feel after you eat and going from there.
For sure. I mean, I just watched this podcast that talked about 30% of our mental health is based on our food choices too.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's affecting. I know, because you and I have both had our challenges through life with anxiety and different things. There are foods that produce.
No, I've had that thought recently too.
Beyond caffeine, there's some other things.
Yeah,
I mean, when the guy said that to me, I was like, oh my God. I mean, I almost wanted to cry, because I do everything. I mean, I was like, I meditate, I walk, I do. You can only do so much, and so there's the part of the nutrition too. So
that is really crazy. So yeah, that was the first thing that I've definitely picked up. Like I literally would make fun of her and my dad. I'd be like, that's disgusting.
They were hardcore.
They were gnarly. I mean,
now the green smoothie I drink now is totally different.
Yeah,
that was hardcore. But
those were like,
I don't know if I was taking a lot of pleasure in those, but
those weren't like cutesy with some green apple and ginger.
Yeah, we could have probably put a little more fruit in them. Anyway.
Next up is essential oils. I literally have essential oils on my nightstand. I bring essential oils with me in my purse, in my bag. Like they are just so important.
They are. And you and I talked about this yesterday in the car ride to the airport.
Did we?
About essential oils. And I never thought about it. But early on, there were two that I used a lot with my children. And that was ginger oil and eucalyptus. And lavender too. Because I'd also rubbed you guys' feet too with oils.
Oh yes, with peppermint, right? Or it just would depend, because because your feet soak up it the most or something. What is it?
You have the most pores or something about your feet, so anything you put in your feet really absorb into your system really fast. I love it. So ginger oil was for the digestion.
Yeah, if
So
I had
put
a
it on your
tummy
belly.
ache, she would, and I was telling my friends in Cabo, I was like, oh, your stomach hurts? If you rub in a counterclockwise motion, and she would use ginger oil. If you don't have ginger oil, you could use lotion, but it helps to like get your digestion going again or something.
Yeah, because that's the way the digestion goes. Just
Counterclockwise.
So I would just rub your belly like that.
Like
with-
lightly press almost.
And with oils and stuff, you don't put it just straight on. You mix it with something else, either lotion or
Right.
I think what do they call it?
Barrier
oil.
carrier cream, carrier oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, growing up, I didn't know what Vicks was until like the last few years, honestly. Because my version of Vicks was when I was sick or I had a cold or my nose was stuffed before I went to bed, because it's the worst when you lay down and your nose is stuffed up. My mom would put eucalyptus on a tissue or Kleenex and put it on my pillow.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a little treat. I was like, ooh. So I think it's just growing up with that. Like here in Florida, I keep essential oils here. I have lavender and eucalyptus typically. Those are like my two favorite. I've been loving, we use a lot of doTERRA, but I also have just been loving sage essential oils, like SAJE. I use their stress release. I have like 4 of them. I have like a mini one in my like literally like if I'm going out for the night, sometimes I bring it with me if I just kind of need to take a deep breath. Like if I get like I am right now, I get really wound up, and sometimes I just can't take a deep breath unless I have something good to smell.
That's
So it
true.
helps me.
No, and that's good when you talk so much too. It's important that we take a deep breath in and that we speak on the exhale.
Oh,
Have
why?
you ever been taught
No.
that? Well, because it
Hello.
it's a more calming, more effective voice than on the inhale.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you're really
Oh, you mean just like when you're talking to someone?
yeah, when you're
not
talking,
like oh, okay.
don't be breathing in and talking up here. You know,
Oh, that's exactly what I do actually.
I know you do a lot. So think about breathe on the exhale or speak on the exhale.
Hello, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, I sound like a radio talk show host. That's like, why haven't you never ever told me that?
Because this was the show that everyone needed to hear that.
Because
And
this was the podcast where we had an enlightening moment. Love that. So yeah, we love essential oils. And then I discovered Vicks is like the same thing where you put it on your chest and you smell it. So it was just a natural Vicks. Oh, finger above your lip for nausea.
That's actually Grammy taught me that.
Oh, really? Go Grammy. Yeah. If you take I take my pointer finger, but if you're feeling nauseous, I like told all my friends this in Greece when we were on the ferry in Cabo, because we're on like this big boat. I'm like, oh, my mom. I was doing all these Peaceful Michelle says. So why don't you explain what it does?
There's just, you have different, like, you all are familiar, I'm sure, with acupuncture. So you have acupressure points that if you press on, will do different things on your body. And this one helps to alleviate nausea. So you just kind of press right there in that little, there's a word for that indentation, but I don't know what it is.
Like like right above your lip.
And just press on it, and it'll help some take away that feeling for sure.
I love it. It definitely helps me, if I'm feeling nauseous or even hungover and I'm like, oh, I just, just pop that finger above your lip. Yeah. Next up, I don't know if you have them in here. I know Freddie broke one time. Your meditation bowl, your singing bowl.
Oh, it's inside that case. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Can I grab it?
Yeah.
If you're watching on video, this would be really cool. Oh my God, should you play? I think you should play.
I didn't even think about it.
So she has these, something that I've been doing recently, like anytime, like a lot of brands in New York City will have, they'll try to think of cool things to do as an event. It's not always like a, what is it called? Like a bar event or like come to our store. A lot of brands are getting really creative. Like, oh, come do a sound bath with Aloe Wellness, or the hotel that I stayed at in Cabo, they did a sound bath for us. It was really, really special. So if you're watching on video, my mom has this beautiful singing bowl, meditation bowl, and growing up, like going to bed and stuff, she'd come in and play it. Again, it was so weird to me, but it is really relaxing. So she'll play a little.
Doesn't it do something?
It's powerful. It
It
just like
is.
soothes your whole body. I
It
hope the
is.
mic picked it up in a good way.
Yeah, it really is. I forgot I've had it tucked away. I need to
I know. We
bring
had
that.
it in that
Should
cute.
take that to the schools. The kids would love
Oh, they would
that.
love it. It's just such a beautiful sound, and literally, she would always play it for us, or we'd literally. I think sometimes we'd say, "Can you bring it out, or
Yeah.
we'd show friends, and you'd get
Yeah.
mad because one time Freddie broke it.
Oh my gosh. So, but shout out to Freddie. So he was young, and I mean, I must have gone ballistic on him because it was a real treasured one. Him and his friend were playing in this room and broke it. So then several years ago, he went and bought me a new one for Christmas. He even called a friend, and that's this one.
That's
he
this
bought it for
one?
me, and when I opened it up, I just cried. So
That's very thoughtful.
it was.
Yeah, well, thank you for giving us a little rendition.
Yeah.
She also,
absolutely.
at her yoga classes, she plays the gong.
Yes, and I've always wanted.
And that's
one in
really
here.
good.
Powerful.
Did you have to like learn how to play?
Yeah, that was part of my teacher training.
Okay, yeah.
So not anybody can just play the gong.
Yeah,
have
you can't
to-
touch it.
It's not that it's hard, but you sort of there's respect in certain areas you play and
Yeah, you
don't
can't just
play.
like hit the middle, right? Because
Right.
it's very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that. Next up, this is so random, but we were traveling yesterday together, so it made me think of it. One thing my mom does when we go on airplanes is something I want to be better about, because I feel like you never really know what you're going to get at the airport when it comes to snacks. Like it's a lot of just like, I love me some Cheez-Its and I'll do it, but sometimes I want something fresh and they don't have anything. So what do you usually bring on the plane?
I usually bring an orange because I love to peel it, and it's just such a fresh, beautiful scent, and peel it on the airplane.
Oh, it's amazing because you know what? We've got some airplane farters. Okay. There are airplane farters.
There's just a lot of people.
There's a lot of scents.
smells.
There's
Yeah,
recycled
sure.
air on the plane.
Sure.
And there have been many times in my life on a plane with my mom where, maybe we needed a snack and maybe it just didn't smell amazing on the plane. So she would pull out the orange, peel it, and it was a nice aroma. And then we also got a little snack.
There you go. Oh my gosh.
It's those little things. And, some might say like, oh, then the whole plane can smell it. But I don't know who's going to be mad about smelling an orange.
Yeah.
Like when people bring their like tuna sandwich on the plane. It's like, oof.
It's a refreshing smell. Plus, again, with it being essential, there's orange essential oil. It's a happy scent. It actually, if you're grieving or have a lot of sadness or depression, orange is an uplifting.
I have heard that probably from you. And this just all ties back into, if you guys listen to the podcast every week, I often will either have a song as my favorite or a candle, and or just some sort of scent. And I do think that's dependent on like being your daughter, because you've taught us a lot about like senses. Like, we'll get into it with the music, but like I like to smell things. I really pick up scents. I mean, you do too. If I'm burning a candle, you're almost sensitive to it. So I think it's just interesting, and definitely a reason why maybe I pick up on scents so much, because it was so part of my life.
Well, things that make you comfortable, that are self-soothing. I'm very big.
Self-soothing.
Yeah. I mean, this home is very
Self-soothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in it that are comforting from all the senses.
Do you want to share the sprays you make with the rose and the lavender?
So yeah, I mean, you can buy them, of course, but you can also just make your own, just with a little spray bottle, and you put in water and maybe sometimes a little salt if you want to. Sometimes people do that just as a slight preservative. Not that you need it. And then drops of essential oil. And so I especially like lavender. Sometimes you go into public bathroom, they just smell bad. And I just like to always have a great space. Plus, I think I'm leaving it nice for the next person.
Yeah, it's polite.
And then rose spray, I use that. But yeah, it refreshes you. Plus it, I don't want to get too, aura. That's not a crazy word. You guys use that now.
We talk about auras now.
So you've got, and it just helps cleanse and clear that as well. And
I'll never forget. This is a good story for a TikTok clip. I will never forget. I was in middle school and I was going to Hallow Scream at Busch Gardens. And I was so excited. I was probably meeting my middle school crush, who even knows. And it's like a haunted house. Like people pop out at you, whatever. And you were just really nervous about my aura. You were really nervous about the dark energy there. And so you gave me this spray.
oh gosh, did you take it and use it?
I don't think so. I think that was when I was still embarrassed of you and your wellness stuff. And it literally was like, okay, after you go through the haunted house, spray yourself to clear yourself, okay? Clear yourself from all the dark energy from the haunted house. And it literally said on it like angel spray. I don't know.
I know. Well, I've had my evolution too about things. And now I just do things and I just do them. I don't necessarily not everybody has to do them, but you were my kid, so of course I was.
No,
say
it was
those things.
cute.
And I would put rocks in your suitcases. Do you remember that had certain
No.
stones?
Were you sneaking stones in my
I
suitcase?
was sneaking stones in your. I know. God love
Wait, I
me.
didn't know this.
Yeah,
like
there's
rose
certain-
quartz or something?
Yeah, that or there was some black tourmaline. I forget what all it did. Maybe I should put it now because you're losing your suitcase. So.
I know. You need to start putting this. No, honestly, my bag is just at 50 pounds, so we need to have no rocks in there, okay?
Just one little one.
One little
Anyway.
stone just to send me off with good energy. That's really funny.
Gosh, I am funny.
You are funny. No, but it's so funny because a lot of these things are like a thing now.
I know.
Like most of these things we're talking about, it's like, oh, well, that's normal now.
I know. Which thank God. I mean, back in the day, I couldn't even buy a yoga mat in the store.
Yeah,
I had
wow.
to get it through my yoga teacher.
That's crazy. You got a
Right?
dealer.
I know. I've just watched that, but I'm glad though because it's
Yeah.
a great practice and easy to do.
More enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up, every morning I woke up and you were always playing some sort of relaxing music. And I think like Brooke always points out that if her and I are traveling together, as soon as I wake up, I play like Jack Johnson or, whatever it might be. I play relaxed John Mayer, that kind of vibe. And my mom and I were talking about it yesterday, and I'm kind of wondering if that's maybe why, because you never really had the TV on growing up.
No, definitely not. Not in the morning.
No,
So
not
you
in the
guys
morning.
came and
Oh yeah,
ate
we played
breakfast.
TV. We watched TV.
Yeah, definitely. but
Watched
not-
all the shows. Well, you didn't let me watch Degrassi for a little bit, but that's another story. Watched all Disney, Nickelodeon. I couldn't watch Cartoon Network sometimes.
I know.
I'm gonna have my things too as a mom. So, but yeah, you always would play like either yoga music or Seal. I feel like you play a lot of Seal. Like I've been kissed by a rose.
Yeah.
Or I think I got you into Jack Johnson.
Yeah. Easy listening things. Sure.
Yeah, I like it. I like that that's what you do. Growing up, it was just so nice. Like I keep saying growing up, but these are things that I kind of got from you.
Well, yeah, it was setting the base, and then you decide now, how it goes for you.
Another thing we did, I think I actually might have mentioned this in a podcast where Brooke and I talked about like things we did growing up, whatever, but we had breakfast every single morning, like full on breakfast. Like, and I really liked that routine. And I think that's why I am such a breakfast person
For
now.
sure.
Like it was a ritual. It was like, okay, we made sure to get ready a little early so we could all kind of sit there. And we didn't sit at the dining room table. I think we sit at like the bar.
Yeah.
But it was still nice. It was a nice little check-in before we all went on our separate ways
Yeah.
for the
I
day.
thought so. I was thinking about that because now we don't do it as much. Now there's the whole intermittent fasting and
Everyone does something different in this house now.
different things, but just something. It is a way. It was nice as a
Mm-hmm.
morning routine for sure.
I really looked forward to it. And now I can't do it. Actually, this morning I woke up not hungry, which was crazy. So I worked out before I ate, which was like
Wow.
unheard of.
But you had your beverages.
Well, I had coffee.
I mean, that's the thing. Is basically my breakfast now is like,
Yeah, you drink like
Tons of
4
beverages.
different beverages. Crazy.
lemon juice, lemon water, tea, green tea, and a smoothie.
You're an animal. I think that's also, I should have put that on there. That's why I think I always need to have 3 beverages at one time because you do.
I have a drinking problem.
You do have a drinking problem, mama. Morning sun. That's something new that I've kind of started doing. And maybe I did get it from you. I think I heard it on Tori's podcast, Tori DeSimone, because she got it from another podcast. But I'm sure, let's just talk about morning sun.
Yeah, you want to know how I learned about morning
How?
sun? I mean, this is so. You were super young, and I went to climb the pyramids in Mexico.
Of course. Totally.
With Don Miguel Ruiz, who now a lot of people know. He wrote a book called The Four Agreements. So super special that I get to work directly with him and his son. But that's like an ancient practice. So we would get up early to go climb the pyramids. And before we started, they'd have us go and like look directly in the sun. They're really early, like just right after
Like with your eyes
sunrise.
open?
Yes.
God.
Yes. And I was like, well, if these guys have been doing it for thousands
Yeah.
of years, there's something to it.
Yeah.
But then feel the feet, on
Okay.
earthing, grounding, right?
Yeah.
We talk about that now.
Grounding.
So that was a while ago because you were really young when I went to do that. But these are all ancient practices. I mean, none of it's stuff any of us are making up now. It's just we're kind of getting back to our roots.
Yeah. So isn't it have like being in the sun in the morning, what, between like until like 10 a.m. or until 11 a.m. that morning sun. It starts your circadian rhythm or something, so it helps you sleep better at night because you're getting like the melatonin from the sun. It's just good for you.
Definitely. Definitely. And like my sister said this week, she's like, sky before screen. So ideally when you get up, instead of just
I love that.
Right on your phone or screen or whatever, just actually going out and feeling the air, looking the sky, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, no, I love that. I like the sky before screen. Maybe I'll try and infuse that. Maybe. It's really hard to not check your phone. The last thing that I've picked up from Peaceful Michelle is dancing to 3 songs a day. We started doing that during quarantine, and it just is a mental health booster and a physical booster.
For sure. Definitely. It's something I've just started. I've always been, done my yoga, which is, the asanas, the postures, done my meditation. But it's like sometimes you just need free flow, you know, and it doesn't have to be like, jamming songs, whatever that is, to really get your blood rushing. I saw, actually, this is a side note, but that Kim Kardashian was talking about, like, when she drops the kids off from school, she just turns all her phones off and she just jams out to music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Got like 20 minutes and nobody's allowed to call, and she's just like going out, in her car.
That is so healing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought, well, that's interesting. That for her, I'm sure she has her quiet moment, but that was just like how she gets. So there's different kinds of energy. Sometimes you need to be calm and quiet and still. And other times you need to get the body moving. But 3 songs is easy to do. It's like 10 minutes and it will change your state. If you're feeling all funky and your head's got bad thoughts, because we all do. I don't care how much stuff, just random things. And it's not the thoughts so much that matter. It's what you when you attach to them. So let them come in and go out, because we all have these random things. But anyway, use that 3 songs and just dance it out.
It was so good. Like, if you're just feeling anxious, like even sometimes now if I'm like just feeling weird, like this morning I went for a walk, but I could have very well have just come upstairs, put on a song. We have a few songs that we really, really like, and you just like, you pretend like no one's watching.
Yeah.
You move your body very freely, like very feminine, fun, shake your hips. Like, isn't there a different energy that comes out of your hips and your...
Definitely. This is where we can freeze up there. And that's all about forward movement.
Yeah.
And, everything. Shake your arms, go up and down on your feet, jump up and down also too. All that just changes you. Or even if you're feeling anxious, but you're just feeling sluggish or kind of, it will. It sounds so simple, but it works.
It really hits different, you guys. So highly suggest. Well, thank you for kind of diving into those. So these are things that I had my mom kind of come up with a list of things that she's been adding into her routine recently in the last few years.
Okay.
I can even let you just like go through them.
Oh yeah.
Or do you want me to like prompt them for you?
No, I see.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it right now. So last summer we got an infrared sauna. So definitely, I went to a wellness center down in South Florida called Hippocrates, where it's like all raw vegan. I mean, it's like serious, which I'm not, but I did feel great.
It was a cleanse.
It was like a detox week, and I did, ate super clean. But one of the things that I did was I did the infrared sauna every night, and then they had a cold plunge pool too. So this whole idea of getting hot, doing something and then cold, it's effective. I mean, I listened to all the, the Jay Shettys and the, Tony Robbins, people that are doing kind of fitness things, Lewis Howes. Yeah. Anyway, they talk about that is like one of the primary things that it just gets your circulation going and all that. And it's to sweat like that too. So now I have to admit, the other thing I've started doing is I've started playing a sport again. I've started playing tennis.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of the heat of Florida, and I mean, I sweat so much that I can't even.
No, you're so dehydrated. But
So I use that, but then I come home and I either plunge in the pool, which is mildly cold now because it's summer, or take a cold shower. And I'm telling you, it takes a mental thing, but it teaches your body just flushes. It's just like a quick detox.
No, I know. I have definitely picked up on the infrared sauna. I've been loving it. It's hard to get to the cold plunge for me. It's almost like I get out of breath when I get in there.
It's shocking.
It's shocking for me and it's tough. So, like I do with the rest of the things in my life, I just want to wait till I'm comfortable. But I know a lot of people just love it so much, and it's so good for you and so empowering. I know, like, well, what's the other thing when you're feeling like stressed? I mean, granted, we live in Florida and you can do this, but when you're like feeling overwhelmed, anxious, whatever, what do you go do?
What do I go do?
To the beach.
Oh, yes. I submerge myself in the salt water. And I mean, all year round. So especially like if Freddie's home and he takes the boat out, and I'll just say, just take me to the little island, you know, somewhere close by, or literally, you know, and get in all the way, head and all. Or I'll literally drive myself over the causeway. And I mean, you know, the water's maybe just that deep, but just get in there and just, I got it.
Sorry,
and just,
Mike, being Mike police.
Yeah, get all the way in. That salt water, super healing, it just washes everything away. But you got to get in all the way with your head too.
Yeah, because then you're just cold still. You have to go in. And it's got to be a hair wash day. You got to be okay with your hair getting wet, I feel like.
No, it's good. If I've got a lot of stuff going on and I just feel like I just need to let something go, or I could just jump in the pool, or you could get in the shower and visualize. But the salt water for me is like that. That's why you saw even at the lake this past week. I always get in. It's water. I'm a Pisces too, so
total water sign.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that. See, I did meditate. Okay. So when the kids were little, so I had this whole room too, because this was like my peaceful place. I would get up, I mean, very early, maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock, come down here before they got up and meditate and do this whole long ritual. Well, now I'm a little older and maybe a little slower, or maybe I just don't need to meditate as long anymore too. And that's the one thing. Once you start doing it, you can get into it quicker, so you don't really need to do it as long. So in the morning when I wake up early, or even if I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm having a hard time going back to sleep, I just put my earbuds in. Or this morning I did it with Michael and he listened along. I said, I'm getting ready to meditate. Do you want to? And he goes, yeah, sure. So I just let him listen and do like guided meditations. There's so many out there now. I mean, God, I just go on YouTube and, you know, there's a plethora of them.
Oh my God. You know, you should shout out your meditation.
You have on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel called Peaceful Michelle, just like my Instagram. I also have a website now.
Yes, peacefulmichelle.com.
I know. There it is. So that I could really mostly too, so the schools had a place to see who I was and kind of what I do. Anyway, I have recordings on there for children and adults that are guided meditations that are between 10 and 30 minutes.
And it's her voice, and it's really
my voice.
soothing.
People say they like my voice. I think that's part of it.
It is. I remember one time I was in Miami and I couldn't fall asleep. This was a couple of years ago, and I went on your YouTube channel and I played it.
Aww.
Yeah, I think I told you that. Because I was like, I just need to hear my mom's voice.
Freddie did it too when he was in college.
Yeah, it's a good little, I always forget that you have that, and it's nice for you to be able to just tell people, like, she's not like trying to be an influencer or anything, but it's like she just has this YouTube channel with those guided meditations, and she went to a recording studio and recorded them. They are very good quality.
Yeah, that was, I had students offer to do that to me.
True, that's so nice.
And my website too. My students,
they just like believe in you.
They do. That's their gift to me. And they're just like, well, I'll do it for you.
So nice.
It is. I'm very beloved in that way and grateful.
Yeah. So love that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else?
I think we hit it all.
Oh yeah, we did. So we're gonna end the episode with some questions because my mom actually just really.
Did you get some?
Oh, we got lots of questions.
Okay, cool. And I have no idea what they are, so this will be interesting.
Yeah. But we wanted them to be, wellness, related in some sort of like meditation, yoga, because she just wanted to be able to answer questions for you guys and. Yeah. All right. I saw one question yesterday that I really liked because I also related to it. And it was about meditation.
Okay.
It says, as soon as I start to meditate, I get really anxious, even if I wasn't before. Any advice? Because I am the same way.
Yes, because even when I go and I first start to teach, one of the things I'll say is close your eyes if you feel comfortable. That act of just closing your eyes is a meditation itself, because you start to go from your like beta wave state that we're in right here to the alpha waves, which is starting to calm down. But some people don't feel safe doing that. You've got to feel like you're really relaxed, you're in a good environment. So there's ways to meditate with your eyes open. You don't have to just sit and be still. I was actually doing it this morning. There's walking meditations where you just walk.
Oh, yeah, like a mindfulness walk.
Yeah, and do that. So that's a great way to start, because sometimes it's like the mind it's not you, but your mind that has all these random thoughts. It's like this big general mind that we all kind of, that's not always, it's there to keep you safe, not happy. And so it's telling you, what are you doing? You closing your eyes now? You know, I mean, all that kind of stuff. So do something that feels comfortable, and maybe it involves a little activity.
Yeah,
Walking
I like
in
that.
nature. Mm-hmm.
You have told me that before and it didn't stick. So maybe it'll stick this time, because there is a way to do that. I think being in nature is probably the best, or like not looking at
100%.
like cars, but
Right. And you can listen to something, or you can even do like a senses walking meditation where first you're walking and you pay attention to everything you can hear and you activate that.
like mindfulness, like
Yes.
really activating all the senses.
Yeah. And then you activate everything I can see and then everything I can smell.
I
and
like
just
that.
walk. You'd be surprised. It's a way to get you out of all the thought patterns.
I love that. Okay, a little side note, but I thought this question was really cute. What's her story with Peaceful Michelle? How did it start? Like, where did it come from? Like, I feel like it might be Dad.
I think it was because I used to have an AOL account when we, came up, we were doing that, and we were
Like your email account.
Yeah, our email account, but that I don't have that one anymore. But we were just kind of searching through different names or whatever. And your dad, I think he coined it. He said it. He goes, "Well, Peaceful Michelle," which is interesting now because I have other friends that use it, but they call themselves Peaceful and whatever their name is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It kind of just works. Yeah, because my dad like made us all emails when we were little. Like mine was
Oh yeah.
well, I had a few.
Yeah.
And then he made one for Freddie, it was just so funny. And yeah, I think he made Peaceful Michelle, and it just kind of stuck. Like, I think it started with you made an Instagram and you decided to make that your username.
Yes.
And then I think Freddie's friends started to call you Peaceful Michelle, or like Peaceful.
Or Peace.
Peace. Hey,
just
peace. And it stuck, and then I thought it was cute, and then and then my friends from college, I think, really picked it up too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do they
it's
call
just-
me that when they comment in the sections? People say Peaceful Michelle.
Oh, my followers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's locked in. Like, Peaceful
Okay.
Michelle will probably be in the title of this podcast.
That's good, but listen, gals and guys, I'm not always peaceful. Trust
Oh,
me.
no, no, no.
I've got my moments.
And you can tell when she is not peaceful.
For
She right wears it on her face.
So we all have. I just use it to keep it because it feels good to me to feel
Yeah.
more at peace.
What are your daily non-negotiables?
I meditate every morning, 100%,
No matter where we are.
no matter where.
Even I can
it's-
attest to this.
Yeah, anywhere. Every morning I start with something, and sometimes it's a 10-minute, sometimes it's a 30-minute. But you can schedule in 5 to 10 minutes before you get going. That's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
That's one non-negotiable. I don't know.
That's your big non-negotiable.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And you
And
drink
then-
a lot of water, I feel like.
I do drink a lot of water. Pretty much drink some kind of smoothie or green drink. Well, I do smoothie or green drink. I even travel with.
Yeah, she
powders.
is one of those girls that sticks to her routine when she travels. It's impressive. Because it makes you feel good.
It does. It's really about my personal, how I feel better. And especially if I'm going to be traveling and I'm probably drinking and eating more than I normally do, I got to have something to kind of,
Bring you back.
yeah.
No,
to
I like that.
counteract all that.
Oh, I like this. Practical ways to manage anxiety during the workday when you can't just step away.
3
really
deep
good.
breaths. That's
3 deep breaths, is that the key?
powerful. Just, and you don't even have to close your eyes, but and just feel your body. Like maybe even put your hand on your chest or something like that. And you hold it too. So you inhale, hold, and then exhale. Make the exhale a little bit longer. 3 deep breaths. Or if it's something else, maybe sometimes you just need to shake it off. You need to move a little bit, shake your arms, kind of jump yourself up and down.
Love that.
Yeah.
Was there something with the fingers too? Am I making that up?
Well, that's a meditation, actually, which I love because it's an ancient one. It's called Kirtan Kriya that I've taught for years. You guys used to do it even when you were kids, sa, ta, na, ma.
Yeah, like putting your thumb on your
you
each
tap.
finger.
And that's something you can do as a walking meditation too, is tap each finger as you're going along. But now this neurologist, Dr. Danielle, they've done studies on people that do that meditation and how it actually changes their brain and
Wow.
balances. And they're doing scans on their brains after doing it for
Wow.
several months. So it's real what meditation and mindfulness does for you.
I love
It's
that.
very
Thank
real.
you.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest of the questions are kind of the same thing.
Oh,
So I'll kind of put it into a little summary. Basically,
Sure.
everyone's kind of asking, you talked about, you know, meditating with your eyes closed and getting anxious. But what about like having to keep your thoughts at bay, or like when your thoughts start to trickle in? Is there anything you do? I mean, I know now you just can kind of get to this blank space, but are there any tips, like mental tips to do if like you're meditating and then you're like, oh, but I gotta take the garbage out? Or
yeah, and that happens to everybody. I've been meditating for over 20 years and it still happens. So don't think that you're just going to sit. Once you
Okay.
become a meditator, all of a sudden you just have this still mind that just comes into existence. No, you just learn to how not to attach to it, to have those random thoughts and then let it take you off. So you return to your breath. Notice your breath. And have some affirmations in there. Like, today's
talk
it.
to yourself.
Yeah, today's going to be a great day. I mean, I was feeling a little anxious, to be honest.
She was.
About doing this podcast because I'm not used to. Now, we did it one time before, but we didn't film too. And,
Yeah, no, I added a step this time.
and, we've been traveling a lot, so I didn't really have time to do all my stuffs this morning, which is practical in life.
Yeah.
You don't have time to do everything. And so I was walking Finley, walking your pet.
Yeah, I
walking
noticed you
outside.
still went and did your walk. which
Yeah,
is good.
because that's kind of a meditation.
Yeah.
But I don't take my screens with me. It's
Sky
just,
before scream, baby.
is just telling. I feel good. This is going to be fun. This is going to be
I feel relaxed.
inspirational for me and everyone. I feel good about offering the help and advice. Just pumping myself.
Yeah.
You got to have good thoughts ready to go, because if not, that old negative mind that's really just trying to keep you safe and small. Because back in the day, we had saber-toothed tigers running around. We had things we needed to be afraid of, but we don't have that same thing. But the old ancient mind doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's still doing that old stuff. So you just, no, I feel good. This is a
I'm
great day.
good.
How fun to have my family here. Whatever it is. It sounds coy, but it's true.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, are you feeling, I feel like you're you.
Yeah,
You
I
got,
know. It took me a minute. And in the beginning, you'll see I was like rubbing my foot. I was having like a cramp in my foot. And I was like, I need to get some tea. So I too, just like
you.
have, forever. But what you do is you have a toolbox. And so you have these things that you can reach for when different things come in life and you get uncertain and off. It's natural.
Toolbox. No, it's so key to have your toolbox. I know for me, my toolbox is a carbonated water, sparkling water, essential oils, and like movement. Though that's in my toolbox of like when I start to like get a little panicky.
Yeah. So set those up when you're feeling good.
Yeah.
So that you say, oh, okay. And when you are feeling good, just remember that. Have those things set up. And then when you're not, you say, oh, I go to this.
Yeah.
And be ready for it. So,
love it.
yes, I feel more comfortable now for sure.
Yay. I love
it's been
it.
fun. I've enjoyed it.
Oh, and it's a beautiful sunny day here in Florida. We're sending all of you guys sunshine during this July now. It's July officially, which is so cray. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much, Mom, for coming on the podcast.
I'm happy and I'm just proud of you.
Thank
and Brooke.
you.
Amazing.
We miss Brooke. We love
Yes.
her. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and following. Make sure to get Gals on the Go New York City live show tickets. Give this video a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow at Gals on the Go podcast on Instagram. Follow Brooke Michelle. Follow Danielle Carolyn to see what we're up to every day. And we'll see you guys next week for our next video, podcast, whatever. Bye, guys.